extra time.
সফল ভবিষ্যৎ গড়ার একটাই কাহিনী, ছায়া প্রকাশনী।
ছায়া প্রকাশনী।
Hello and welcome to the Extra Time Football Show. This is your very own Suman Chakravarti, and today once again we have another special guest with us. And he's none other than former Newcastle United and Kerala Blasters forward. It's Michael Chopra. Michael, welcome to the Extra Time Football Show.
Thank you.
Michael, the Under-17 Football World Cup is going on, and you have seen all the matches perhaps of the Indian team. So according to you, what are the strengths and weaknesses you have spotted?
Well, I think they've got the one thing going for them. They've got players that can play. I think you look at previous India players, technically they weren't very good, but you can see this team, they're very good with the ball, they're comfortable with the ball. They like to play out from the back, which is nice to see. They don't just want to launch it and push up the pitch. You could see in the first game against USA, they were nervous, but rightly so. They're playing a major competition. They're playing in front of 50,000 fans for the first time. And what was good to see as a fellow professional is they didn't let their heads drop for the second match. You lose 3-0, sometimes you see players, their heads drop, their form drops, they change the way they want to play. But these boys against Colombia, they played exactly how they started playing in the USA game. They played out from the back, they got into dangerous areas, they caused Colombia problems. And not only that, it was only in August they played Colombia in Mexico, I think, and lost 3-0. And a few months down the line, the sudden change and to make the game so close was a great achievement, and it's great to see. And it's great for Indian football that the players now are playing this way, and really the future for Indian football looks bright.
Michael, you have played top-flight international football over the years, and you have seen all the highs and lows of international football. Don't you think the competition experience of this India U17 team has let them down big time before playing this big event like a FIFA World Cup?
Well, you look at all the big teams in the international stage, all their players have got international experience, and I think that's what these players need now. If these are going to prepare and qualify for major European tournaments again, I think they need to get out of India and play in Europe or play in America or play in Asia. They've got to get themselves international exposure, international experience, because it helps in major competitions. I think that's why you talk about the seniors, you look at Brazil, you look at Germany, you look at France, Spain. Why are these countries doing so well in World Cups? Because all of their players don't just play in their countries. You look at England don't do well at major World Cup tournaments because all English players are just used to an English standard of playing football. They're not used to going into Spain and seeing what their culture's like, going into Germany, realising what the German game's like. So I think now we've got a setup now that is good, it's good enough. Now they need to experience themselves and broaden the international experience.
Well, Michael, a lot of buzz is going on regarding Dhiraj Singh, Jigson Singh, players like Suresh Singh and Amarjit Singh, as well as Komal Tuttle, that a few proficient football clubs, famous football clubs like Borussia Mönchengladbach and then Manchester United are tracking them. So, according to you, how positive is this for Indian football?
Well, it's very positive. You go back 10 years ago, who was the only player that we're talking about? They were only talking about Sunil Chetri. Now, you're talking about a group of players. You're talking about 6 or 7 players now that major clubs are looking at. And hopefully these players can go into these clubs and not sign for them, but to get the experience of training, to be around professional players, to go and see what it's like to be in a major club. Because fair enough, you go to East Bengal, you go to Mobagan, you're not going to get the experience like going to a German club, going to an English club. You want to rub shoulders with the top players. You look at the England team now, you've got Angel Gomez, you've got Jordan Sancho. These have rubbed shoulders with Paul Pogba, Lukaku, Aguero. Now these Indian players need to get that experience.
Michael, another thing which is very important, All India Football Federation has decided, as you were mentioning, these players need international experience, international exposure, but All India Football Federation have decided to play them in the I-League as another team and they'd be playing against the big boys at the age of 17. According to you, is this a positive note or is it a step back?
Well, AIF have got their own opinions. Obviously, it's great to get them into a league and keep them together, but for me, I don't think they're going to progress. I don't know how a 17-year-old kid can progress playing against East Bengal Mobagan. Yeah, they're going to learn playing against men and good players, but is Kamal going to be progressing if he's losing 4, 5, 6-0 every game? Because it's going to be tough for these lads. You see it already. You see it when East Bengal and Mobagan play against the lower league teams. They destroy them. It's like playing against an ISL team. It'll be tough. I don't know if the IFF can come up with a cooperation with some of the ISL teams where some of these players for 2-3 times a week go and train with the ISL teams, because they're playing with good foreigners. You look at Kolkata, they've got Robbie Keane. I'm pretty sure Kamal could learn a lot from Robbie Keane in the space of a week than what he would do playing in the I-League. So it's little things like that suggestions and ideas can come into it.
Well, your friend Sunil Chhetri scored another goal and secured India's place in the 2019 AFC Asia Cup after 8 long years. So was there any special message which you interacted with him?
Well, I'm good friends with Sandesh, Eugene. I speak to them all, Subrata Paul, and it's great that's happening to Indian football. You can see the transition, what's happening at the minute, and after 8 years as well, that's a long time to not be in a major competition. But it's a start, and it's great for Indian football. But now is my other concern. Now they need to start playing better teams. Obviously, they beat Macau 4-1. They expect to beat teams like that. Now, can they go and test themselves against better teams? Not long ago, they recently broke into the top 100. Now, should they be playing teams that are 120 in the world, 130 in the world, or should you test yourselves against the teams that are in the top 90, the top 80? Let's go and see how good these Indian players are, and let's give them the game time and the match time they want to play against better players.
Michael, another question, the last question probably, is that Stephen Constantine, it was a lot of people told him that players like you, who are of Indian origin, should be played in Indian football, to be precise, for the national team and a lot. You perhaps were the first one who showed interest that, yeah, I'm ready to don the Indian national team jersey. And despite some performances which you had in your kitty which could impress anyone, he just turned his face away. So according to you, is this a good sign or bad sign in Indian football? Because nowadays all the international countries are giving a lot of chances to the home origin players.
Well, obviously what's happened with me and Stephen, everyone knows. I had phone calls with him and he decided not to pursue it. But we've had our differences. I don't need to go down there. But I think India needs to allow POIs and OCIs to play for the country, because there's so many in the UK that want to play for the country. One player that could have played for India is Neil Collins, who was at Swansea, he's at Aston Villa now. He couldn't play for India, so he's played for Wales. He played in the European Championships last year, and this is a top player that's played Premier League throughout his life. And there's a couple of young players. There's one at Liverpool, Jan Dana, who's an up-and-coming player, who's Indian heritage, could play for India. So all these other countries have done it. Why don't India not do it?
Thank you so much, Michael. It's been a pleasure talking to you once again. That was Michael Chopra for you. I hope his words would be a concern for all the teams who would be thinking about taking all these Indian young prospects of the U17 World Cup side. That's all for now. Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.